Did you know that medieval England had a melting pot of names from different cultures, and that many of those names that were so popular then are still popular now? Welcome to my channel where I discuss all things names and history related to names. Now, before I dive into why England at that time in the medieval period had so many different names, different cultures, I need to discuss why that happened before I discuss which names. And there's two main reasons. The first one is conquests. So before the Anglo-Saxons conquered England, it was inhabited by the Brittonic people, and the Brittonic languages dealt into what we have as today, or known as today, as Welsh, Cornish, and Breton. Then after, when the Anglo-Saxons came in, who were a Germanic tribe, Old English was being developed, and Old English is very much influenced by Germanic. And then came the Norman conquest, which introduced French names, and then all mixed them together. A second very important reason why all this happened was the introduction of Christianity to England. And after this, many people wanted to name their children after biblical figures and saints. And what happens then is those names are Latin, Greek, and saints' names are usually Latin, but biblical names are Greek and Hebrew, and many saints' names are either the two or Latin. And so you're in this point where all these names are just all together, which is not a very common thing to happen before this period. So how I'm going to discuss the popular names, I'm going to go through popular names of the different origins, and I'm going to begin with Old English. So some names that we still use today from this period are Edith, which is, as we know, Edith. Then we have names such as Alfred, but we also have names as Oswin, Ethelfleda, Alviva, and one that I love that people know today is Godfrey. Next, I'm going to discuss French names that were used, and many French names are usually variations of other names, but in their French variation, that was very popular in medieval England. And so you have names such as Eleanor and Louise and Marguerite. Then we have the German or the Germanic names that were very popular, and we have names such as Matilda and Maud, Hildegard, William, Robert, Richard, Henry. And then we have the Greek names that were very popular, which were Philip, Margaret, Catherine, Sybil. Next we have some very popular Latin names, which were Cicely and Avis. Hebrew names are very popular, were David and John and Samuel and Jacob. And some of the, around this time were Latin, Greek, also Anglo-Saxon and French names were introduced. Welsh names died down, but were still very strong in the Wales area of Britain. And popular names from then, which are still popular today, are names like Llewellyn, Angharad, Owain, and Rhiannon. Oh, and there was one more French name that I missed. That's not so popular today, but I adore it, and it's Melisande. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video.